Hi, my name is Elizabeth, and today I hope to persuade you to buy your home and don't rent someone else's. Everyone loves money. Society revolves around money. There's nothing these days that does not cost money. However, most have the same cycle, which is work, spend money, sleep, work, spend money, sleep, and so on. However, even though most work all the time, many find it impossible to save. In fact, only 25% of Americans have over $1,000 in their savings accounts. In today's economy, that isn't even 1 month's rent. The average rent in the US is $1,750 for a 908 square foot apartment. In Florida, the average is $1,973, and even in the lowest state, Oklahoma, their average is $1,070. And that's the problem. So many Americans are throwing their money away by renting, paying their landlord's mortgage. So the solution is obvious. Buy, don't rent. There are so many reasons that this is the better option. First of all, it's really not as hard as people make it out to be. It is a much better financial decision, and it's also much more satisfying. It's not only better for your financial future, it's fun, and it's your own. My first point is that it's really as not hard as you think it is. The only requirements are to have a credit history, a stable income, and proof of that income with a W-2 and pay stubs. The first steps are to find a realtor, which is probably the most important step, as they help you throughout the entire process of buying your home. And then after you do that, you can find your budget and choose a lender, which is the mortgage company that you will take your mortgage out with. And then once you do that, you can get pre-qualified and start looking. One tip that I have is that there are many down payment assistance programs out there, so you don't have to spend years and years savings to put down this big chunk of change on your down payment. So after you get pre-qualified, the next steps would be to go house hunting, to pick your favorite home, to look at all the different styles. Once you choose your home, you get to put in an offer. Whether it is a starter home or forever home. And then once your offer is approved, then you have to set up an inspection and appraisal, which is important to make sure that your home is up to standard and you are not overpaying for it. Then after this, you have to choose your home insurance, and then you go to closing, which is just signing the papers for the home. And that's it. Your house is yours and you get to move in. These are the steps. So as you can see, it is not as hard as you think it is. Buying a home also provides financial stability. You pay your mortgage instead of rent, and you gain equity with every payment that you make towards your home. Your payments also stay the same, whereas with renting, your payments typically go up every time you sign a new lease. Not to mention, you also get tax deductions when you own property. Also, if you refinance, you can get lower payments and a better interest rate. And if you do that, you can also take equity out, which is money in your pocket if you choose. It is also a fantastic investment, as well as getting to live in it. You can either begin or continue to build generational wealth. Again, you gain equity with every payment that you make to your home, and the value of your home appreciates or grows throughout time. So when you choose, or if you choose to sell, after the loan is paid off to the bank, the rest goes right into your pocket, the payments that you make, and also the value that your home had increased. You get to choose a 15 to 30-year loan, and if when you pay it off, then you don't have a monthly payment, just your yearly property tax. So when you retire and get older, that's one less thing you have to think about and worry about. And lastly, and probably my favorite point, is that it is much more satisfying. You get to pick out your aesthetics. You get to go house hunting, look at all the different styles, and choose your favorite home. There is also so much more space, especially going from an apartment to a house, with yard space and also square footage. You get to paint and decorate, however you want because you're your own landlord, so no more boring white walls. And it's also very customizable. You get to do renovations. Some renovations you may need a permit for if it's structural, but most like kitchen renovations, changing out the cabinets and the appliances, you don't need a permit for that. Another tip that I have is to get a home warranty. It's so much more manageable if, let's say, your AC or your water heater goes out. They help you out with that. In the long run, buying is a much better option than renting, whether it's a house, a condo, a townhouse, whatever you choose. When I bought my house, I spent less money up front to take out a mortgage than I had previously spent on move-in costs for an apartment. It's honestly not that hard. It takes some work and attention, but finding the right realtor is very important, so they help you out through the whole process. It is a great financial decision, and it's much more fun and satisfying. So make sure that you are ready, have a stable income, and go buy your home. Here are the sources that I use. Thank you for listening.